Hello and welcome to the explosive weekend debate with me, Ayushman Singh Jamwal. The political face-off over the centre's new ordinance continues to escalate, ladies and gentlemen. A day after Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal had sought the support of opposition parties over the centre's new ordinance, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Yadav today met him in the national capital. Nitish Kumar hit out at the centre, calling the ordinance unconstitutional. It gives overriding powers to the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi to oversee the transfer, posting and disciplinary proceedings of civil servants. Meanwhile, Arvind Kejriwal is likely to meet other opposition leaders to seek support over the centre's ordinance in order to form an anti-BJP coalition ahead of the 2024 elections. The question remains, could this cement opposition unity?
कुछ भी करने की कोशिश हो रही है केंद्र सरकार के द्वारा, ये तो एक विचित्र बात है। अब आप जरा संविधान को देख लीजिए, क्या अधिकार है। जब गवर्नमेंट बनाई जाती है, इलेक्टेड सरकार बनती है, तो उनको जो अधिकार दिया गया है उसको कैसे आप हटा सकते हैं।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश आने के 8वें दिन 8 दिन के अंदर उन्होंने अध्यादेश जारी करके सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर को पलट दिया। चुनी हुई सरकार की सारी शक्तियां छीन ली, सरकार को बिल्कुल पंगु बना दिया और सारी ताकत एलजी को दे दी कि अब एलजी दिल्ली चलाएंगे।
जगमोहन रेड्डी, कपिल सिब्बल, कमलनाथ, फारूक अब्दुल्ला, लालू यादव, अभी और भी बहुत है जो मैं समयाभाव में नहीं ले रहा हूं। इनको अरविंद केजरीवाल भ्रष्टाचार की प्रतिमूर्ति मानते थे और अचानक वो व्यक्ति इन सभी लोगों से गलबहियां करने लगे।
Right, let's get to our guests. I'm joined by Tuhin Sinha, BJP spokesperson, Reena Gupta, Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, Mayank Sinha of the JDU, and PKD Nambiar, political analyst. Thank you for joining us on CNN News 18. Tuhin Sinha, I'll come to you first. This entire tussle between you and the Aam Aadmi Party has two dimensions. One is the legal fight and other is the political fight. Now, after the setback from the Supreme Court to your government, to your standing when it comes to how to run Delhi, are you trying to spin this politically because you have a daunting legal challenge ahead of you? Even though you filed that petition before the Supreme Court, you've made that argument that Delhi cannot have so much control over its affairs. It's unlikely that the Supreme Court will change its decision.
Well, good evening, Ayushman. Good evening, everybody. I think Arvind Kejriwal needs to read the constitutional bench order properly, because the ordinance contains its origin within the judgment, and if I may specifically refer to para 164C and para 164F. What does para 164C reads? The Legislative Assembly of NCTD has competence over entries in List 2, List and List 3, except for expressly excluded entries of List 2. In addition to the entries of List 1, Parliament has legislative competence over all the matters in List 2 and List 3 in relation to NCTD. Similarly, para 164F lays out a similar provision for the central government to step in. You know, given the history of the Delhi government, given the history of Arvind Kejriwal, where he has been indulging in relentless scams, whether it is the liquor scam, whether it is his own renovation of the house, I think it is an imperative for the central government to step in and keep a tab over certain appointments and over the way the entire government functions. In fact, the biggest scam, if I may say so, was the formation of his ministry, where the chief minister does not have any ministry, and all the 70% of the ministries were given out to the two people who are behind bars. So I think whatever the central government has done is within the ambit of the judgment of the constitutional bench, and people like Nitish Kumar, who are hobnobbing with Arvind Kejriwal today, are doing so to hide their own irrelevance and redundance. They have no locus standi on the issue.
Right. But Tuhin, at the same time, because now this entire thing, I mean, you've taken the constitutional decision to pass an ordinance. The government is well within its rights to do that. Now this entire thing goes into the political realm because Parliament has to ratify it in 6 months. On that note, I think, Reena Gupta, yours is the daunting challenge to rally the opposition to beat this in Parliament, to rally all these parties who Arvind Kejriwal, since the beginning of his career, has called the root of corruption in Indian politics. Can he rally their numbers when it comes to defeating this ordinance in Parliament?
See, it is very clear if you read the Supreme Court judgment, the judgment makes it very clear that the basic structure of the Constitution cannot be changed. The judgment makes it very clear India is a federal country. The judgment makes it very clear that the bureaucracy in any state should be accountable to the elected government of that state.
I think state is the operative word there.
It makes it very clear that the will of the people is supreme. What is the will of the people in Delhi? That they don't want Bharatiya Janata Party. They have expressed this will very clearly through the MCD, through the Legislative Assembly thrice. But it is the egos of the Bharatiya Janata Party that cannot digest the simple fact that the people of Delhi do not want you. Otherwise, what was the need of this midnight ordinance? Ordinances are brought about when there is an emergency. What is the emergency over here? There is no emergency. It is just that the big egos of Bharatiya Janata Party cannot digest that the people of Delhi do not want Bharatiya Janata Party.
But Reena Gupta, I want to talk about brass tacks here.
Can I complete?
But I think we're getting lost in the semantics of the argument. I want to get down to brass tacks. What the BJP government has done is something they have every right to do. They have a right to promulgate and to push an ordinance. Now they have 6 months to ratify that in Parliament. Now the onus is on you to defeat it in Parliament. Regardless of the political arguments, we need to address the political realities when it comes to that. Are you confident, like you have Nitish Kumar in your camp, you have Tejasvi Yadav in your camp, can you rally the other parties? And you have Tejasvi Yadav, who's the head of the RJD, his father is Lalu Prasad Yadav, who's convicted of corruption. They stand diametrically opposite to what you stand for. Is it for political convenience that you can rally all these parties to defeat this entire legislative push in Parliament?
This is a bid to save the Constitution. So everybody is putting aside their political differences, because if it were to left to Bharatiya Janata Party, tomorrow they will bring out another ordinance and say, ab pure desh mein chunav hi nahi hoenge. There will be no elections in the rest of the country, and Bharatiya Janata Party and Mr. Modi will remain the Prime Minister, till infinity. So this is a bid to save the Constitution of this country. This is a bid to save democracy in this country, and all the parties are coming together, because this is not just Delhi. We have seen that the Bharatiya Janata Party is misusing the LG office and the governor office in all the opposition ruled states. Delhi is just one small example. They need to realize that the people of this country are tired, and we saw that how in Karnataka the people were tired of the corrupt Bharatiya Janata Party government and they were thrown out. They know that 2024 the people of this country are tired of them. All the promises that they talked about, 15 lakhs in our accounts, 2 crore jobs every year, houses for everybody,
So,
they have not delivered on any of their promises.
So the baseline point is that you are confident. So the baseline point is you are confident that all the parties, and you've been at loggerheads with all these parties. I mean, all these parties are anti-BJP, but it's not as if they're they're bosom buddies with each other. Tuhin Sinha, this confidence coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party camp that let bygones be bygones. Whatever we've said against each other when it comes to corruption, we have to save the Constitution, which is why we have to come together and defeat the BJP.
Well, for a very long time, Aam Aadmi Party has been trying to develop a model of cooperative corruption in India, and they have got willing partners now in RJD and Nitish Kumar in Bihar and BRS in Telangana. But a time will come when the nation will see through their nefarious agenda. The nation is already seeing it, she was talking about a performance in Karnataka, but let me tell you that Aam Aadmi Party is a party, wherever it goes, it has a record of forfeiting its deposits. All their candidates of Aam Aadmi Party lost their deposits in Karnataka. The same happened in Karnataka, and nearly the same happened in Uttarakhand. So I don't think they should be talking about national politics, but yes, their attempts to create and to nurture a model of cooperative corruption in India is very visible to the people of the country, and the people of the country will stand in support of BJP, and you will see that we will cross the bridge in Parliament when we come to it.
Right. I want to get a reaction from the JDU as well. I'm joined by Mayank Sinha of the JDU. Mayank Sinha, how do you see this pitch coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party? Your ally is Lalu Prasad Yadav. Your ally is the RJD. Lalu Prasad Yadav was convicted of corruption. You've got into bed with Lalu Prasad Yadav after ditching the BJP. And now the pitch coming in from Nitish Kumar that we need to save this country from the BJP. And now you're getting in bed with someone who you have opposed tooth and nail for the longest time. ये political equation काम कैसे करेगा? Because आप सबको एक साथ काम करना है पार्लियामेंट में, आप कर पाएंगे?
देखिए, what is the meaning of democracy? Democracy means a system in which the government of a country is elected by the people. Democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. यही meaning है ना? But the BJP written a new democracy line: bypass the law, bypass the judgment, bypass the people, bypass the constitution, bypass the...
नहीं, पर ये बताइए, ऑर्डिनेंस देना क्या bypassing constitution होता है?
Honorable Supreme Court passed the judgment very clearly and empowers the Delhi government. Then after he bringing the ordinance. What is the motive? Motive to disturb the non-BJP government in all over the country.
Politics aside, politics aside, the ordinance is legal, right?
No, ordinance is totally illegal.
It's totally illegal.
If the constitutional bench give the judgment, what is the need of that ordinance?
Need? Nothing. I'm not asking you about need. I'm asking you, are you calling the ordinance route only illegal?
Totally illegal. Totally BJP trying to destroy this country. He is not to maintain save the democracy, to save the country and to save the people. He is trying to collapse all these things. He is misusing the machinery, constitutional machinery very badly.
Right. So that is the stand of... Okay. So you're saying that the ordinance route is completely illegal. PKD Nambiar, that pitch coming in from the JDU. But my question is, the ordinance is a route that every government has. Every government has used it in the past. BJP is using it in this case.
Why you are questioning the Bihar government ordinance passed by the amendment, the jail manual? Why you are the questioning?
But Mr. Sinha, you have every right to question. I'm talking about tangibility. I need to get a view from PKD Nambiar. PKD Nambiar, I want to get your take on this. Do you think that the Aam Aadmi Party can be a nucleus of an anti-BJP front when it comes to defeating this ordinance, which has to be ratified in 6 months by Parliament?
There is no way, Ayushman. Today is actually a historic day. One is the biggest dal badali of the country in the history of India, and the person who is considered to be the most selfish politician, that is Arvind Kejriwal. And Arvind Kejriwal, as you said, that the political career, if he started with anti-Lalu, anti-Sharad Pawar, anti-Sonia Gandhi, and anti everyone other than himself. And today he is sitting and having a cup of tea and enjoying the tea and saying that, yes, I am going to save the country. I want Nitish Kumar ji. And Nitish Kumar is crying that, oh yes, if this is the only man who can maybe the alternative to this country, I think he is going to be the Messiah. He is going to be the Jesus Christ. I think it's the time for this country to understand these people who have the real hypocrites in its real avatar of hypocrisy in Indian politics. Look at the way Nitish Kumar has been trying to go around all across and say that he wanted to project himself as a presidential candidate earlier. That is the only reason he wanted to move out of the BJP. Then he again put himself as a chief ministerial candidate. He was not being supported by anybody, including the Congress. Congress is not at all okay to be even in talks with the Kejriwal. I think there is a lot of mess is happening in the opposition wing. And on the other side, we are talking about the ordinance. May I ask my JDU friend, and how many in the last 20 years of or 15 years of Nitish Kumar, how many ordinances were passed by the Bihar government? How many ordinances were passed by the Tamil Nadu government? How many ordinances were passed by Telangana government? How many ordinances were passed by
Absolutely.
Mamta Banerjee? I think let's bring some kind of novelty to the politics so that the people of today, the youth of this country, enjoys it. I think these kind of politics has no space, and I am very happy to see that the picture of Arvind Kejriwal's drawing room where they were having a meeting, and I'm sure that it is maybe more than 45 crore. It looks like. I also live in Delhi, a decent house, but I think maybe
that's a different debate altogether.
I will also become a chief minister of Delhi to have enjoy that.
That's a different debate altogether. Reena Gupta, that's the point I think we're trying to reach over here. You're talking about the spirit behind the ordinance. Fine, you can make the argument that after what the Supreme Court ruled, what is the intention behind the ordinance? We're talking about political brass tacks now. Now, let's face it, at the end of the day, Arvind Kejriwal has built his political career trashing every other political party in this country as paragons of corruption. And let's also not forget, he is siding with someone like Nitish Kumar, who one day is with RJD, one day is with the BJP. One day is with the RJD, one day is with the BJP. Can you really trust a person like Nitish Kumar, number one? And number two, let's not forget, when it comes to accusing people of corruption, only Arvind Kejriwal has made the rounds of the courts apologizing to the leaders of this country.
Absolutely.
It's my turn to speak.
Yes, please go ahead.
Right. I think what is happening today in India is that all the opposition parties are realizing that Bharatiya Janata Party is not letting anybody govern. It is not letting anybody function. And all of them are tired of the undemocratic and unconstitutional methods that are being used by Bharatiya Janata Party, be it the misuse of the governor's office, be it Operation Lotus, harassing opposition leaders, buying MLAs of opposition parties. And then that is the reason why everybody wants to come together. The 140 crore people of this country are tired of Bharatiya Janata Party. And you will see that in 2024, the people of this country are going to throw Bharatiya Janata Party out because they have realized that Bharatiya Janata Party has not delivered on anything. Right now, inflation is high, unemployment is very, very high, and the only people who are prospering are the Adanis of this country, the friends of Bharatiya Janata Party.
Right.
So people of this country are looking for an alternative. They are looking for good governance. They are looking for parties that can deliver. And that is the reason why everybody is planning to come together and get rid of this ordinance. And it is not just the opposition parties. As soon as the Supreme Court will open, and the Supreme Court opens, this opposition, this ordinance will be thrown out of the Supreme Court because this ordinance is illegal. Supreme Court very clearly said that you cannot change the basic structure
we have to wait and see for that, but Reena Gupta, on the political front,
that is the reason. Can I complete my last line?
Yeah,
that is the reason Bharatiya Janata Party waited for the Supreme Court to go on vacation, and in the middle of the night they took out this ordinance because they knew if the Supreme Court had been functioning and it was not on vacation, this ordinance would have been thrown out. We are going to file.
We have to wait and see how the legal fight plays out. Reena Gupta, we have to wait and see how the legal fight plays out. But on one side is political semantics, the other side is political realities. Tuhin Sena, I'll give you the final word. When it comes to the political realities facing the opposition, Reena Gupta here is very confident that the spectre of Modi, that the threats to the constitution and federalism is enough for all the political differences between these parties to evaporate overnight and come together to take on your party.
Well, Ayushman, let me not mince words over here. This opposition has zero credibility. Right now, the AAP spokesperson was saying inflation is at an all-time high. You check the records, the retail inflation is at a 19-month low. So they don't even do the basic homework before coming here. When it comes to this particular ordinance, let me simplify it for the opposition once again. Para 164C and F very specifically give legislative competence over all matters in the concurrent and state list in relation to NCTD to the central government. So the government is in the right in doing so. When it comes to passing the same as a bill in parliament, we will cross the bridge when we come to it. But honestly, both Mr. Kejriwal and Nitish Kumar with their multiple flip-flops today enjoy zero credibility, and 2 zeros certainly don't make a 1 forget making 100.
Absolutely. So, as I was saying,
Ayushman, can I ask a question to Reena ji?
Yeah, just 30 seconds, Piketty Nambiar. Just 30 seconds to you.
My only question to Reena ji is that the way the political career of Arvind Kejriwal or Aam Aadmi Party has started, do you support the politics of Lalu Yadav and Tejasvi Yadav and the way you have been having a cup of tea with them? Do you wanted to have their support to run the country now?
Reena Gupta, 30 seconds.
Nambiar, do you support Hemanta Biswa Sharma?
I mean, you can't answer a question with a question. Come on.
Oh, yes.
All the people who have been recycled and joined your party. And why don't you, for a change, at least tell us which party are you representing today? Why hide behind
come on, you can't answer a question with a question, Reena Gupta.
Come out and say that you're representing Bharatiya Janata Party.
Right. I think we'll have to leave it at that.
Why did you become an official spokesperson?
I think we'll have to leave it at that. Tween Sena, Reena Gupta, Mayank Sena, Piketty Nambiar, thank you for joining us on CNN News 18. The war of words is only going to escalate when it comes to the face-off over the Delhi ordinance. But the Aam Aadmi Party has a huge challenge when it comes to rallying all these parties together. Remember, the political differences are there, but can they all come together to take on the BJP? That we'll have to wait and see. The BJP has 6 months to ratify this ordinance in Parliament. But let's shift focus to some other news. In a tragic incident, ladies and gentlemen, a 22-year-old girl, Bhanu Rekha, lost her life as heavy rains lashed Bengaluru city today evening. The family of 5 was traveling from Hyderabad to Bengaluru in a rented car when their vehicle submerged in the KR underpass amid heavy waterlogging. The emergency response team reached the spot promptly and rescued 5 members of the family and admitted them at the ST Martha Hospital, where Bhanu unfortunately could not be revived. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah also visited the family at the hospital and announced rupees 5 lakh as compensation and free treatment to the rest of the family.
In a sad incident, that 22-year-old girl lost her life. So this is that car in which this whole incident took place. After that, this vehicle that got stuck in the waterlogged underpass in KR Circle. So that you can see in the visual that how it looks like at this point in time, where this 22-year-old girl was sitting in the rear seat. So that's the place where she was exactly sitting. Well, there were also other 5 members in the same car. So many people who did see this particular car getting submerged into the waterlogged underpass. So they tried rescuing these members. So 5 of them were being rescued on the spot. However, the fire and emergency team also reached the spot immediately to take this vehicle out of that waterlogged road. But by then it was really late that the locals who were here could rescue 5 members, but 22-year-old girl couldn't come out of this car, so she got stuck over there. And what we are given to understand from the hospital team is that right after that she was being moved from this particular location to the hospital. She was even more critical, and yes, now she has also been declared dead as well. Due to heavy rains in IT city Bengaluru, many roads were waterlogged and also trees were uprooted across Bengaluru. But in a sad incident, that one person, 22-year-old girl, also lost her life after getting stuck with her family members in a car right here at the spot. However, in the visual that you can also see a fire and emergency team as well, which is trying to pump out the water in this underpass, the KR Circle underpass. There you can see in the visuals how it looks like the police is trying to stop other vehicles from entering this particular underpass as well. So what we are given to understand is that this particular family was traveling from Hyderabad to Bengaluru. So they were here in the city to explore the IT city, and after that they explored Kaban Park, which is nearby from this location. They were heading back to their home, and that's when this whole incident took place, that including driver, the 5 members, altogether 6 members were there in the car, but the car entered this underpass and there they got stuck in the waterlogged complete underpass.
ಯಾರು ಅಂಡರ್ ಪಾಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಇವರು ವಿಜಯವಾಡದವರು ಗಾಡಿನ ಬಾಡಿಗೆಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಗರ ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವಿಜಯವಾಡ, ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ ಸೇರಿ 7 ಜನ ಇದ್ದರು. ಅವರು ಬ್ಯಾರಿಕೇಡ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು, ಅದು ಮಳೆ ಬಂದು ಬ್ಯಾರಿಕೇಡ್ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಇವನು ಡ್ರೈವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಅಂಡರ್ ಪಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗದೇ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅಂಡರ್ ಪಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ವರೆಗೂ ನೀರು ತುಂಬ್ಕೊಬಿಟ್ಟದೆ ಕಾರ್ಗೆ. ಅಂಡರ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಹೋದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಬಾಗಿಲುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ವಾಟರ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಗಿಲು ತೆಗಿಯೋಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
And Jammu and Kashmir is all set to host G20 meet tomorrow. The security has been beefed up in the valley ahead of the mega event. My colleagues Ishan Wani and Arunima get us these reports. That's all from me. Thank you for watching and good night.
The stage is set and all the excitement among tourism stakeholders can be seen in Kashmir. Behind me you can see this is the venue where the meeting will be held, and this is being decorated. The trials are running and security measures are in full place. Behind is these massive mountain range in Srinagar and the Dal Lake. It's a very beautiful location to host G20 tourism meeting. We have seen that government wants to focus on bringing that tourism back to Valley. Over there, my Vijay Bashilon will show you that there are places where craft and art of Kashmir will be showcased to the delegates. That what is the art and craft and culture of Kashmir, and that brief will be given there. And this is an area where government wants to focus on trying to have more tourists, trying to have more people on the ground, so that not only the film culture but also government wants to trust on a film policy that can be drafted so that people can come once again to Kashmir, not only shoot their movies but also international tourism also revives in Kashmir Valley.
The shikaras are ready, the snow-clad mountains are shining. Srinagar is all set to welcome the G20 delegates. This is a crucial meeting of the working group, and Indian government is trying to emphasize that it's all good in Jammu and Kashmir, even though Pakistan has repeatedly tried to raise the bogey of instability and this being a disputed territory. Pakistan's all-weather ally, China, has once again raised objection, saying that this is a disputed territory, so therefore they will not participate in this working group meeting. But as far as the motive of bringing in tourists are concerned, you can see the Dal Jheel is packed with tourists, mostly domestic tourists. The G20 is also a major push that Indian government and the Ministry of Tourism and Culture is giving to ensure that other than the domestic tourist circuit, Kashmir also once again becomes a part of the foreign tourist circuit. There are some issues about various governments issuing advisories to their citizens about coming to Kashmir. They're discouraged from coming to Kashmir, and that is something that the industry here is hoping will be reversed